Welcome to Real Crime Vault. If you wish to see our subsequent video updates, kindly hit the subscribe button. Thank you as you do that. In the biting cold of February 1999, the Minneapolis-St. Paul area was blanketed by a massive snowstorm. Schools across Minnesota announced closures, and families hunkered down, enjoying the unexpected break. The familiar scroll of school closings on the KARE 11 news channel was a welcome sight for kids, a sign of a snow day filled with sledding and hot chocolate. But for one family, this blizzard would become a haunting backdrop to a tragedy that would take years to unravel. This is the story of how a seemingly ordinary snow day concealed a dark and chilling secret. On February 3rd, 1999, David and Lonnie Zuvel were worried. Their 17-year-old daughter, KARE, hadn't come home the previous night. KARE was a bright, responsible junior at Elm Creek High School. She was a good student, had a part-time job, and a close circle of friends. It was completely out of character for her to disappear without a word. Her parents called her friends, her work, and anyone they could think of, but no one had seen her since she left for school the day before. The heavy snow that had paralyzed the region was now not just an inconvenience. It was a major obstacle in the search for their missing daughter. The Anoka County Sheriff's Office was notified, and a missing persons report was filed. Investigators began piecing together KARE's last known movements. She had attended school as usual on February 2nd. After school, she drove her boyfriend, 18-year-old Rob Blaisdell, to his home. Rob was a senior at the same high school. By all accounts, their relationship was a typical high school romance, though friends would later describe Rob as being possessive and sometimes moody. After dropping him off, KARE was supposed to head home, but she never arrived. Rob Blaisdell was one of the first people police spoke to. He told them that KARE had dropped him off around 3:30 p.m. He said they had a minor argument, nothing serious, and she drove away. He claimed he hadn't seen or heard from her since. His story seemed plausible, and with the blizzard raging, investigators considered the possibility that KARE's car had skidded off the road and was now hidden under a deep drift of snow. The weather was a major complication. Search efforts were severely hampered, and visibility was near zero. The entire community held its breath, hoping KARE was just stranded somewhere, waiting for the snowplows to clear a path. Days turned into a week, and the snow began to melt, but there was still no sign of KARE or her red 1992 Pontiac Grand Am. The initial theory of a car accident started to seem less likely. Her parents made desperate public pleas for information. Flyers with KARE's smiling face were posted all over town, a stark contrast to the grim reality of her disappearance. The school community was in shock. How could a student just vanish on her way home? The investigation intensified. Police re-interviewed KARE's friends and family, including her boyfriend, Rob Blaisdell. During his subsequent interviews, Rob's story remained consistent. He insisted he didn't know where KARE was. He even participated in some of the community searches, appearing to be just another concerned teenager desperate for his girlfriend's safe return. However, some of KARE's friends told police that the couple's relationship had been rocky. They said Rob could be controlling and jealous. This painted a slightly different picture of the young man, but without any concrete evidence. He was just one of many people police were talking to. The investigation seemed to be hitting a dead end, buried under the same snow that had initially delayed the search. Then, a breakthrough. Nearly a week after she vanished, KARE Zuvel's Pontiac Grand Am was found. It was parked in a desolate, industrial area in Minneapolis, miles away from her home or her usual route. The discovery was chilling. The car was locked, and there was no sign of KARE. But inside the car, investigators found subtle but crucial clues. There were small bloodstains on the passenger seat and door. The blood was later confirmed to be KARE's. The discovery of the car confirmed everyone's worst fears. This was no longer a simple missing person case. Foul play was almost certain. With the discovery of the car and the blood evidence, the focus of the investigation sharpened dramatically, and it zeroed in on Rob Blaisdell. His alibi was that KARE had dropped him off, and he had stayed home. But detectives started to pick apart his story. They questioned his family and friends more closely. It turned out that Rob had borrowed his father's truck on the evening KARE disappeared, claiming he needed to help a friend. This contradicted his initial statement that he had stayed home all night. The timeline was starting to crumble. Investigators pressed Rob again. Why did he lie about borrowing the truck? What was he really doing that night? Under the weight of the mounting evidence and intense questioning, Rob's composure finally cracked. He changed his story. He admitted that he had argued with KARE in her car after she dropped him off. But this time, he added a horrifying new detail. He claimed another person was there, a mutual acquaintance, and that this person had attacked KARE. Rob alleged that he was just a terrified bystander who helped dispose of the car out of fear. It was a desperate attempt to shift the blame, to create a phantom killer. But detectives weren't buying it. There was no evidence of a third person being involved. The story was full of holes and seemed designed solely to protect himself. The police knew they were close. They brought Rob in for one final, grueling interrogation. They laid out all the inconsistencies in his stories, the forensic evidence from the car, and the testimony from friends about his controlling behavior. They confronted him with the truth they had pieced together. The pressure was immense. Finally, broken and with nowhere left to hide, Rob Blaisdell confessed. And the story he told was more brutal than anyone could have imagined. He admitted that their argument in the car wasn't minor. It had escalated. Enraged, Rob had strangled KARE Zuvul to death right there in the passenger seat of her own car. After committing this horrific act, he needed to hide what he had done. He drove KARE's body to the nearby Elm Creek Park Reserve, a place they had visited together in happier times. Using the darkness and the swirling snowstorm as cover, he buried her body in a shallow grave, hoping the blizzard would conceal his crime forever. He then drove her car to the industrial area in Minneapolis and abandoned it, taking his father's truck to get back home. He had meticulously planned his cover-up, using the weather that had brought the state to a standstill as his accomplice. The school closing announcements on KARE 11 that night weren't a symbol of a fun snow day, but a soundtrack to a murder. With Rob's confession, the final piece of the puzzle fell into place. He led investigators to the spot in Elm Creek Park Reserve where he had buried KARE. On February 11, 1999, 9 days after she went missing, police recovered KARE Zuvul's body. The community's faint hope for her safe return was extinguished, replaced by grief and outrage. A snow day that was supposed to be a time of joy had become a symbol of a life cut tragically short. The boy who had pretended to search for his missing girlfriend was, in fact, her killer. Robert Blaisdell was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The motive, as it so often is in these tragic cases, was jealousy and control. The argument that led to her death was reportedly about KARE wanting to end their relationship. Unwilling to accept her decision, Rob chose to take her life instead. The trial was a formality. Faced with his own detailed confession and the overwhelming evidence against him, Rob Blaisdell pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to more than 30 years in prison for the murder of KARE Zuvul. The case of KARE Zuvul is a heartbreaking reminder of the dangers that can lurk within seemingly normal relationships, and how a seemingly random event, like a snowstorm, can become entwined with a dark and deliberate crime. The image of the KARE 11 school closing scroll is forever tainted for those who remember the winter of 1999. It's a chilling testament to the fact that while a blizzard can cover roads and hide landscapes, it cannot hide the truth forever. Eventually, the snow melts, and the dark secrets buried beneath are brought into the light. KARE's family was left to mourn a daughter whose future was stolen, a victim of a rage that festered behind a teenage romance. Her story serves as a tragic warning about the red flags of possessiveness and control in relationships, a lesson learned at the most devastating cost. Thank you for joining us at Real Crime Vault. If this story resonated with you, please consider subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into true crime cases. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.